listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You can double, you can press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever.
All right, shout out to the fam, man. For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned into the Pelican Postgame Report. Much love to the flock, man. Appreciate y'all being in this stream, man. The Pelicans beat down by Nuggets 114 to 119 in just a total evisceration in the second half. The Nuggets took it to another level. Pelicans couldn't follow. Just more of the same from the Pelicans. Half-ass game, half a game worth of effort and IQ. Defense, once again, failing. Dumb. I don't understand why we do this dumb drop coverage crap. And then of course the Pelicans did try something different with the big lineup, had some positivity going on there, but in the end we could not sustain effective enough basketball against a very good Denver team, and they just mollywopped the Pelicans and pushed their asses completely out of there. They control and dominate the season series, and they win 3-1, just basically showing you the levels between what really good teams are versus ones that are not. Very tough season. Shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all for being in the stream. Shout out to Milton. Much love to Milton, man. Thank you for becoming a member. Thank you, brother. Appreciate very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for becoming a member here. And Milton asks the question, why are they taking so long? Why are we waiting till the last minute to trade? You know, they're not paying well, they took care of that trade before anything. And listen, man, what's really interesting about this, and I just want to share this with you guys, and you guys let me know what you think about this whole thing with the NBA. These trades, I've never seen anything like this, but also preface it with this. The fact that the NBA ratings were completely going down. They were disinterested in what was going on with the season. So what does the NBA do? It then turns up one of the wildest trade situations that I've ever seen, with superstars getting traded around to try to stoke interest in the league again. I mean, the numbers were through the floor in terms of viewership, and they had to do something spectacular to garner excitement. And they facilitated a lot of these trades, which are just ridiculous. I mean, this is unbelievable. Some of these trades that we've been seeing happen here. All right. Yeah. I know Quavade is saying, the Lakers got Luka. Absolutely amazing. You know, some of the stuff that we've seen happen in the trade situation. So anyway, big ups to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in a live, man. Shout out to my girl Lex stopping by. What's up, Lex? How you doing tonight?
All right, and you?
Pretty good. I'm all right. All right. And of course, like I said tonight, a really horrible night for the Pelicans in terms of what they did. They were just absolutely eviscerated in the second half. Denver just outscored those people. What was it? 76 to what was it? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter.
They had 45 points in the third quarter.
Right. And it was close until it wasn't. But yes, this is insane. I'm gonna bounce back and cover some of the stuff that's happening in the trade market. The fact that Jimmy Butler got traded during the game as well. He's now found himself a new home. Kyle Kuzma was traded as well. He found himself a new home. Chris Middleton was traded as well. Jonas was traded as well. We know about the Daniel Tice. We're going to cover all of that stuff as tomorrow is the final day for trades in terms of the Pelicans. We're going to talk about some of the latest news dealing with the Pelicans. We'll get Willie Green up to the press conference as soon as we can. So let's hit these stats for tonight. The stat read is sponsored by Michael Porter Jr., who cooked the Pelicans the last time around. Do we have a philosophy of doing double teams and forcing the ball out the hot hand to another player to try to see if they can beat us? I mean, Michael Porter cooks the Pelicans, and he cooked them tonight for 39 points on 16 of 23 shooting. This is amazing. But anyway, stat read 57 out of 100 for the Nuggets tonight for 57% flat from the field. Pelicans were 43 of 93 for 46.2. The Nuggets were 16 of 43 from downtown for 37.2. The Pels were 10 of 29 for 34.5. Pelicans did hit 23 of 26 from the foul line for 85.5%. The Nuggets were 14 of 15 for 93.3. Nuggets out hustled the Pelicans tonight in rebounds, over 50 rebounds, 51 to 38 against the Pelicans. They had 40 assists on the Pelicans tonight, who had 26, 9 steals to 5 advantage. Nuggets 4 to 3 on the blocks advantage. Nuggets, they did all that while holding down 9 turnovers with 18 points given up. The Pelicans had only 11 with 19 points off of turnovers. The fast break game was also for the Nuggets. They won that 37-18, and points in the paint 74 to 58 points in the paint. As far as that's concerned, individually speaking, as well for the Pels tonight, the top man in terms of production and points was Zion Williamson. He had 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in 27 minutes of action. 11 of 19 from the field, and he was 6 of 9 from the field. 25 by Trey Murphy the third. So we're going to finish up the stat read momentarily. That's about you hear what he got to say.
Especially that third quarter. Good first half. You know, we're executing on both ends of the floor. They're a good team. And then we come out in the third quarter and a lot of self-inflicted wounds. And this is a team that you have to take care of the basketball, take quality shots, and they're elite in transition. And the wheels kind of fell off, and we just couldn't sustain what we did in the first half, and that's the biggest difference in the game.
Career high assists for Trey. Especially, I mean, they're blitzing him, they're doubling him, they're trying to do everything to get him, get the ball out of his hands. How much is this just another step in his growth and maturity to be able to make the right read as he was?
Yeah, it was good. He made really good reads. We went over it in film that we knew that this was probably going to be their adjustment, was to be up and pick and rolls, try to take the ball out of his hands. So continue to make the simple plays. He's big enough to see over the defense. So he made some really good passes out there, and good to see him continue to take steps forward.
Another really big game from the MPJ. What's made it really tough to slow him down these last 2 games?
We have to be more physical. We know that he is capable of coming off screens and teeing up threes, and we're allowing him to run in space, and we don't have our hands on him. If you let a 6'10" sniper run around and get open, he's going to knock down shots. So 2 really good games on his part.
How much do you feel like it's kind of been a recurring theme this season where it's gotten difficult to get stops and then the ball gets rolling and it ends up being like a 40-point quarter out of nowhere? How much have you kind of seen that, repeatedly this year?
I've seen it a lot this year, and we'll continue to talk about it as a group, continue to try to work on it and grow from it. But it comes down to discipline. We know that our margin for error is small. Can't turn the ball over, and we didn't have a ton of turnovers, but they capitalize on those timely turnovers, timely missed shots that we're capable of making, like layups at the rim, which fuels their transition opportunities. And so we just an area we have to be better at, starting with me and the rest of the group.
Did you get any word at all, Hawk?
X-rays were negative, but he'll continue to go more testing.
I mean, we've said it before the season, but I mean, how often this season do you kind of just find yourself saying, "Man, another guy going down, another guy, injured"? I mean, it's like surreal at this point, just how often you're kind of having those moments during games.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, especially what we've been dealing with this season. The amount of injuries that we've had, to see Hawk go down, it's like you're just praying that he's okay. And so, we'll get word, pretty soon, probably tomorrow, and then see how he feels from there. All right, thank you.
Hawks got hurt. He sounds like he's all right. He got hurt at the end of the game. I don't like losing, and I just despise David Griffin. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all guys and get this out in open. I absolutely despise David Griffin. I despise this. I despise Gail. And right now, I'm really not feeling the Pelicans or the Saints right now with all of the stuff going around outside of sports right now. I'm really just really adamant about if I had the ability to push these people out of here into a jail cell, I would, man. I really would. But yeah, it's just more of incompetence by this team. A coach that doesn't have a clue about what's going on with this team. His coaching is awful. Yes, you have injuries, but Willie Green's low IQ of game decisions and his feel for the game is atrocious. And at some time, I'll give you some leeway to improve. But what I have seen from Willie Green over these games is these guys will be motivated for a half a game or even a quarter of a game or 3/4 of a game. These guys, it's just awful, man. What can I tell you? This team is 12-29. They've lost 7 in a row once again, and they're going to fall and lean back on the fact that the injuries wasn't there, even though during this season they had stretches when they had their players and they were still losing games. But in the end, this is the end result of what we got going on with this stanky ass team. But anyway, quick stat read to finish up before we bounce to interviews. You might hear from Zion tonight, maybe Trey Murphy. 25 from him tonight. He had 9 assists to go along with 5 rebounds for Trey. 2 of 4 from downtown. 19 from CJ McCollum in 28 minutes with 3 assists. He was 3 of 6 from downtown. Then not so much. 15 points from Jordan Hawkins. You heard Willie Green says he's all right. 25 minutes there for him. 12 from Yves with 6 boards. 10 from Carlo Mekovic with 9 boards in 30 minutes for Carlo. Got some real smoke. And outside of that, no other real production going on. So Lex, let me turn it on over to you. I'll only pause if we get something. We probably will hear from Zion or Trey or something like that. But thoughts on the game tonight? Unpause. I mean, mute yourself.
My
Lex.
bad about that. Yeah, there's not much to say. Just the comment of Willie Green saying that they weren't able to sustain in the second half is baffling. The thing is, the Nuggets came out on like an 11-0 run. And if you want to talk about sustain, well, you can't even get to that because you never got started in the second half. You weren't ready to play in the second half. To not show up in the beginning of the second half, again, what did you all discuss? Why wasn't the team ready? We're not even getting to sustain yet because you didn't even come out ready to play. Yes, Stacey, very unprepared because you didn't score at all. The Nuggets went on an 11-0 run. So sustain was just out the window. It was literally just out the window. Also, in that case, if you're going to talk about sustaining, I believe all season you've only won 1/3 quarter. So you have not been sustaining anything. I like to really look at these words that are being used because it's so funny. It's just so funny. Like nothing has been sustained in the second half like all season, let alone the third quarter. Third quarters have still been an all-time fail. Rebounding has still been an all-time fail. It seems like there's more emphasis on three-point shooting rather than rebounding. Rebounding is possessions. Possessions mean more opportunities. So if you're losing the rebounds, a lot of times you're going to lose the game because you're not possessing the ball. Possession is half the battle. That's why rebounds are so important. Rebounds equal possessions equal opportunities. So if you have minimal opportunities, minimal possessions, then there's a high probability that you will lose the game. And the rebounding battle, that's been the biggest thing for the team, really. You have to be scrappy. You have to have effort, all around effort from everyone. You can't expect one person or two people to do all the rebounding. That's not how this works. I like to use OKC as an example. When they did not have Hartenstein in, and they still don't have Chet Holmgren in, they're a top 5 rebounding team. Think about that. At one point in time, they did not have both their bigs, and they were still out rebounding teams. Now, obviously, Hartenstein has been playing, but still, Hartenstein is not getting all of their rebounds. He's not getting all of their rebounds. It's a team effort. So the thing is, it's not about having, like when we talk about having size and having bigs, rebounding has nothing to do with that. It's still a team effort because we've seen a lot of size on teams, and it's like, dude, you're like 7 foot. Why do you have 2 rebounds? I know we've all asked that question. You know, you still have to have effort on the boards. And we've seen guards 6 foot. Guards that are 6 foot, you know, to have a lot of rebounds, double-digit rebounds. But yeah, it was the same script for the most part. I mean, nothing has changed. First half, it was close. Second half, they didn't have that extra push. They didn't have it. That it factor. And again, we see that, just a little bit. That's all it takes. The other team always turns it up, takes it to another level. Just a little bit. That's all they need is just a little bit. Because guess what? The Pelicans are not going to change their level of play. That's what they've been consistently doing all season. But yeah, I agree with you, Stacey. You said earlier the offense looks awful. The defense looks awful. I think it's safe to say that Willie Green is not a defensive coach anymore because you're as good as your last hit. But yeah, you know, we see what's going on. There's really not much to talk about. I mean, you all know that oh, I'm sorry. Shams just reported that Brandon's been traded to the Raptors for Bruce Brown Jr. and Kelly Olynyk, and 1 first-round pick and 1 second-rounder. Did everybody get that?
Yeah, I just showed something with Chris Haynes. He was saying that they were working on the the deal right now. I just got the update. Let me see if I can put it on screen right here for the family members here. Here it is. What's taking so long? We'll get to that in a second. While breaking New Orleans Pelicans, like Lexxah, have traded Brandon Ingram to the Raptors for Bruce Bowen Jr., Kelly Olynyk, and 1 first-round pick
It's
and
Bruce
1
Brown,
second.
not Bruce Bowen. He's
Bruce,
retired.
I'm sorry, Bruce Brown. It doesn't matter, Lex. It really doesn't matter. It don't
I
matter.
just wanted to let you know, Big Q.
I'm
messing with you, man.
I know. He couldn't help us even if he was at the top of his game right now, Lex, with our defensive woes. But Bruce Brown Jr., you're right. Kelly Olynyk, 1 first-round pick and 1 second-rounder. There you go. So let's kind of preface this. A shout out to you, Wayo. Thank you, man, for the super chat, man. Appreciate that as well. Where my buddy?
I'm trying to say thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world. Stay cool, nobody gets hurt. Take the money out, all of it. Come on, wasting my time now. Come on, stop stalling.
We're gonna look at this, man, because let me break out the let me see what the contracts will work for some of these guys here. Lex, thoughts on this? This is breaking right here.
Okay. Yeah. So for those who don't know about Bruce Brown Jr., think about Josh Hart. He's a little guy. He hustles 50-50. He is a champion. He won a championship with the Denver Nuggets. So that's what we're getting out of Bruce Brown. That's what type of player he is. But if you think about somebody like Josh Hart, that sums up his game and what he can offer the Pelicans. Kelly Olynyk, he is, to me, he's more like a stretch 4, but I'm pretty sure that with the Pelicans, he's going to be used as a 5. But he can spread the floor. He does shoot threes. He is very unorthodox. Very unorthodox. I don't really know what he's been doing here of late. I know he was playing for the Utah Jazz before he went to the Raptors. But yeah, I would have to do my due diligence as far as looking him up as far as what he's doing now. But yeah, with Utah, that's how he was used a lot, especially when they went really big in their front court with what is that guy's name? What is his name? The dude who's I can't believe I forgot. I mean, he's a star basically.
For Toronto?
No, Utah, because that's Kelly Olynyk. That's where I remember how he played. I was about to say Franz Wagner, but it's like it's not Franz Wagner. I know
Merkinen? You ain't talking about Merkinen, are you?
Big man.
Kessler.
No, not Kessler. Their star. They're I don't know. But yeah, he's a stretch 4. He can shoot threes. And I guess he'll make a solid backup. Yeah, Lori, thank you. Thank you so much. That was killing me. Oh my gosh. I had his face and everything in my head. But yeah, when he played with him along with Kessler, when they had that big front court, kind of like what you saw tonight with Eves Misi, Makovich, and Zion, if you want to consider him to be a big. But he's really not. But yeah, that's basically like his game. He's just a strong stretch 4 or stretch 5.
I'm gonna pull up.
He's more a stretch 5.
Yeah, I'm pulling up their cards right now to kind of get an idea who these guys and what the average is. I just looked up the contracts here. Bruce Bowen. I mean Bruce. I keep saying Bruce Brown. Bruce.
Yeah, because the thing is, Bruce Bowen, he's a big name. I mean, he's a champion. But yeah,
Alex, that's not what it is. I'm screwing it up because I think I want defense. I mean, I might be going crazy over here, but anyway.
Oh, you good? You good?
Yeah. So this is the thing that I'm thinking about with the whole thing. Let me pull up the cards for these guys here. Kelly Olynyk's card. Here it is on screen. 7 points, 3.6 rebounds per game, 52.3% shooting. For him, 33 years of age, 6'11", 240 from Gonzaga. Been in the game. Like you said, he does have stretch four capabilities. I remember him hitting some big shots against the Pelicans.
Yeah, he's played for the
let's-
Heat and he's played for Utah.
His regular season 3-point percentage for this year is 47.4%. Shooting the ball in that within the last 23 games. For the career, he's 37.1%. So there you go for that. Bruce Brown, on the other hand, who we still have, it's another year. Kelly Olynyk on, with the trade, Kelly Olynyk still has an extra year. So he at 13 mil. So Bruce Brown expires after this season. His contract is over with. So 8.4 points per game, 4 rebounds, 44.3 shooting from the field. And then, of course, on the regular season, 33.3% shooting, and he's at his career, a 34% three-point shooter. So he averages, like I said, about 8.4 points a game. So there you go on this. And, of course, a couple of the trades, the particulars, 1 first-round pick and 1 second-round pick. I would anticipate that's this year. So, but we'll get more of the particulars of the arrangement, man. So this is what it is. Bruce Brown Jr., Kelly Olynyk, 1 first-round pick and 1 second-round pick for Brandon Ingram as he's headed north of the border to the Toronto Raptors. And several insiders were saying it was a close race between the Raptors and the Hawks for Brandon Ingram services. So there you go. The Pelicans finally pull off the trade. They had the trade that got them, trading Daniel Tice to the OKC Thunder. That happened. Now they pull off the big chip to trade Brandon Ingram away. So he's no longer a Pelican. He's headed to the Raps. So let's hear what some of the family members, as you can see in the chat, they got a couple of people that are, kind of, whatever.
Yeah, I just want to say that obviously you all I see the words fleeced, but you have to know, because you kept Brandon for too long, you're not going to get full value. Like that, we knew that. We really did. Like, we all knew that. There was no way that they were really going to really capitalize off of Brandon, because they overvalued him. So I don't really think fleeced is the right word, because again, all this stuff is about timing. If you're not making timely moves, like when they need to be done, this is what happens. So I don't even know if fleeced is the word that you want to get, because this was expected. I mean, how do you feel about that, Big Q?
Well, I mean, you look at some of the deals that some of these other teams were getting, and you kind of felt like we were kind of getting left in the dust. But the Pelicans,
who's the VP again?
David, the Octopus Griffin.
Okay.
But
I mean,
who's your general manager?
Oh, Griff.
Okay, there you go. All
Yeah,
right, correct.
Griff. I mean, we come on, you guys. I mean, we know what's up. We know what's up. I mean, it's not like everybody else is getting like great deals compared to the Pelicans. The Pelicans were not about to get no great deal. They weren't.
Well, I mean, it's also the case too, and we'll run through that the trade scenarios and everything that happened. Well, what happened today, teams making a lot of moves, into trades. Jimmy Butler got traded. We're gonna cover all that momentarily. Of course, we're gonna preview the next matchup against the Sacramento Kings, who
and they're stacked. They just got Jonas Valanciunas, and they have Sabonis, and they got Zach LaVine.
So
they really got more athletic, and they got bigger.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. The Sacramento Kings have just totally reshaped themselves at the trade deadline.
They might be a monster, but you know what?
Depends.
Yeah, they really beefed up, man. They really beefed up.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But shout out to Bird Talk, says I like it. We gonna flip BB for more picks. Hashtag ain't
And
over.
yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I wanna
guys.
say thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world.
All right, hold on.
Get the money out. Stay cool. Nobody gets hurt. Take the money out. All of it. Come on. Wasting my time now. Come
Yeah.
on. Come on. Stop stalling.
I mean, my take on it is it had to happen. To get to move Brandon Ingram, they acquired a expiring agreement, which I think is a team option on Bruce Brown. I want to say I'm gonna have to look that up and see. I think that's a team option on that year for them in terms of his agreement. Let me look that up right quick. Yeah, it is a club option for 24-25. Yeah, so well, anyway, I mean, actually it's expiring. I'm sorry, expiring. It's 23 million. His contract is whatever's left of the 23 million. So he will be unrestricted in 25-26. So that money falls off. You will have Kelly Olynyk's $13+ million on your book. A big with some 3-point application. His defense is not there. He hustles. He tries hard. I'm not going to tell you no difference, but he does add some height and some shooting there that can help the Pelicans. But as we see right now, they're not trying to win anything, obviously, how they play basketball right now. So this is a futuristic move. And to some of my people, my tank people, listen, fam, I get this. The Pelicans didn't organically or architect a tank. They are an incompetent, dumb basketball team at the top. They were incompetency led them to this effort where they're going to lean full into the injuries for an excuse situation. An incompetent team getting high picks doesn't mean you're going to turn this around because you get a Cooper Flag or any of the 2 or 3 top people in the draft. You still have bad coaching. You still have an incompetent, stupid, lion-ass general manager, VP guy at the top of the team. You still have a corrupt, dumb leadership on top of the team. So, I mean, I'm not painting a dark picture, but I'm telling you what this is. And don't fool yourself into thinking just because they're going to be eligible to be at the top of the lottery when the time comes that these assholes are going to take this and turn this into something worth something. What we took when they were basically given an alley-oop and destroyed everything. So like I said, man, you can't cover this up. You can't put paint on a pig and call it a beauty queen. This is just this stinks. This is horrible. And this is not how you build a team. This is not team building. So at the end of the day, that's my thought process on it. They had to move Brandon Ingram. They got an expiring contract. They got a guy that's a 4, that's 5, like Lex said. He could shoot the 3-pointers. We just went over his stats. And they got 2 picks. They got a first round and the second rounder for the draft. And that's pretty much what you were going to ask for. They're not competing for anything this year, so I wasn't anticipating them getting a star type player for BI, just to keep it all the way funky with you. So that's my thoughts on it, Lex. Before we jump into that Sacramento matchup and head to this trade stuff, what do you got? Any passing thoughts on this?
Yeah, just to add on, yeah, somebody had quoted something that I had said, but yeah, Zion's career, it hasn't started yet. It hasn't. If you think that these moves are building around Zion, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think that there's more work that needs to be done. If you're saying that the team is going to be built, because really, we don't know that either. We don't really know that. For one, if you just look at, the coaching, like Big Q was stating, because the coaching is not up to par. This coach, this over this team right now, that was never Zion's coach. Okay? Remember, that's Brandon's coach. So when you got to put these things now, Stan Van Gundy was actually Zion's type coach. All right. And they got rid of him and brought in Willie Green. So just keep that in mind, that if you are truly trying to build around Zion, as long as Willie Green's here, because he's not it. And your the coach that you have, if the Pelicans are, still thinking, hey, we're building around Zion, which you're like 6 seasons too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, to say that you're finally building around him is really weird to me when you just think about that statement, because again, I never felt like Willie Green was Zion's coach. I don't feel like he's the coach for him. I think it's somebody else. So yeah, until that piece right there, because that is a major piece, having the coach that's for you, they're not building around him. And that's very important. That's very important to know. Now, maybe that works for Trey Murphy, but honestly, I don't feel like Willie Green is the coach for Trey Murphy either. If everything is shifted and they're thinking, hey, we're going to build around Trey Murphy. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you start looking at those details, just because they got new pieces or they're getting, top picks of any kind or whoever, I don't care who it is. The thing is, that does not mean that they're actually building around Zion, nor Trey Murphy. If you're shifting that way, you have to have the right coach. You got to have the right coach. And right now, as long as Willie Green is here, because we all know about. Are you ready, Big Q? You ready?
Hold on, yeah, I'm ready. Hold on, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, because we don't know the details of the secret contract.
Give me advance notice.
Look, I just want
to give me advance notice.
Because that's our thing, I want to make sure we get that right.
I'm about to screw it all the way up. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I'm about to screw it the hell up.
For real. Like, we're not looking for, we halfway in, we got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Okay? That's not what Pelican supporters want. If you're going to build around the man, do it all the way. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I agree. I want Willie Green gone, man.
Yeah,
I want him out of here, man.
If you're going to be dialed in to Zion, okay, do it all the way, because I really feel like it's been 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's always straddling the fence. That's what it's been. So that's all I'm saying. Don't fool the supporters by straddling the fence, because you've been doing that for 6 seasons. Frankly, I don't feel like the Pelicans have the ability to do it. And this is whether because they still may move Zion. We don't know. They still may move him. In the off season. And same thing with Trey. If you're shifting towards Trey Murphy, because I know he's having a breakout year right now. But either or, these guys need to be all the way in and not straddling the fence. Because the straddling the fence, this is what you get.
Right.
All 6 of these seasons, this is what you get. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm still not trying to hear about injuries. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
You know why? Because a lot of these games, you all, regardless of the injuries, the Pelicans still could have won.
You ain't lying.
What lost these games was coaching. Okay? Right. That's what they want you to say. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they want to feed you. They want to tell you, hey, injuries. And you know what? As long as we pushing
Sound like
injuries. Are you ready, Big Q?
Hold on, Lex. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
As long as you're pushing the injuries, okay? And the contents of the secret contracts. Okay? Hey, Willie's gonna be around. I was trying to go. You know, hey. Yeah. Hey.
We got a clown show going on over here, man.
Y'all know what it is. The thing is, hey, be all in. And if you're not, man, shoot. Nothing against the Pelicans, y'all, but hey, if you're not gonna be all in as far as with Zion, man, let that man go. Cause shoot, Trey Murphy, you don't be wasting his time. Cause continuing to go down these same patterns, okay, doing the same thing and expecting something different is insanity.
Yeah, it has to be a plan moving forward. And the fact is, it's obvious that what one of the family members in the chat is actually saying, or is Willie Green going to be okay because of the injuries? Yes, he is going to be okay. The Pelicans leadership, which is the only person I really like there is Swin. I don't know how much pull she has in the building in terms of decision making.
We don't even know about Swin though either. Right now, everybody looks bad. Big Q, you gotta admit that.
They do.
Everybody looks bad. Even Borrego.
Yeah, he does. He looks shitty out. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We've been trying to get with Borrego and things, but he looks bad. Everybody looks bad on that coaching staff. Everybody looks bad on just the marketing, the front office, the three stooges at the top, Gail.
Oh,
everybody looks. I'm not giving. I can't because I don't know Swin. And you know, she's a sister. I like to support my sisters. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I do. But I'm looking at the situation right now, and everybody looks bad. I can't give no freebies because I'm like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You're right, Lex. I mean,
what are you doing?
This team is 12. It's a 12-win team, and we are approaching the middle of February. We're what is it? We're today is the 5th, 6th. So it started February. The team has 12 wins. They're 12-39 on the season. Sacramento is next. That's the next team up for the Pelicans. The Sacramento Kings are 25-24. 13-12 is home. So they're still in relevance. They traded Foxy.
Back to back, is it?
No.
It's not a back.
It's not a back-to-back. Yeah, they play Sacramento plays. I mean, the Pelicans travel to Sacramento and play them on the 8th. We won't see a back-to-back until the middle of the season when we see Sacramento again. Then that's a back-to-back with them. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting with them because, like you mentioned, the Sacramento Kings is a team that they did get some new pieces, and they are changing around their lineup. I mean, they look a lot different than what we were remembering.
A whole lot faster, man.
So they got Malik Monk at the 1, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Sabonis is there, Valanciunas has been added there. So yes, they do, and they have added some more fire and power with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan there, that Chicago connection there. And Big V as a backup for Sabonis. That's weird because him and Sabonis had all that battling going on at their teammates. Let me give a shout out before we
a lot of rebounds.
Do this. TFP Talawa fishing, paddling, and outdoors with the super chat says, thanks for keeping me sane with these reports. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want to say thank you very much. Picking me up, bringing me back to this world. Money out, stay cool, nobody gets hurt.
Lex, what we think of this one right here, this matchup with the Pelicans against the Sacramento Kings relevancy? I think I've seen something in terms of 79% these people think that they're gonna hammer the Pelicans into submission. So this is potentially what they're looking at in terms of the depth chart. Um, this happens a couple of games from now, days from now, actually on the it happens on the 8th. So thoughts on this one before we continue the trade news.
Um, yeah, I feel like as far as the rebounding battle, the Pelicans are gonna lose that. I think the best way to try and get this win is really get them running. In as far as the shoot first and second unit, especially that second unit, I don't think they're going to start JV. I think he's going to be with the second
Off the
unit.
back. Yeah, he's on off the bench.
Yeah, yeah. I think he'll definitely be in the second unit, but there's a lot of they're balanced.
Yeah, a lot
I'll
of
say
scoring.
that they're balanced. They do have more scoring. They have more athleticism. I do believe it's adding Levine alone, or at least replace him because I think for the most part, De'Aaron and Zach Levine, there may be a few things that are pros and cons as far as what they both offer. Obviously, I think De'Aaron is he can run the point, but I don't think that'll be a problem with the Kings. Who can you go back to their starting lineup so I can?
Malik is running the point. Malik Monk. They got Monk,
Okay,
Levine, DeRozan,
I
Murray.
thought Monk was coming off the bench still, but yeah, he's not really a point guard. He's not really a point guard. He plays more like a shooting guard, so that'll be interesting to see because right now they have a lot of two guards. I think Zach Levine would probably be more of the point guard than Malik Monk. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, we don't know because we haven't seen him. I would need to see him play at least like once. But yeah, right now they kind of it seems like they have a similar situation that the Suns have. Like they have Durant, Booker, Bradley Beal. They're actually like two guards. All of them are. Neither of them are point guards. And so when I look at this situation, Malik, Zach, DeMar DeRozan, they're all twos. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, they're gonna more than likely they're gonna. I see he's averaging about 6 assists a game, and you're right. He's not a true one, but I think they probably gonna operate it like that and kind of
Yeah, I mean they got to
rotate the
now.
point guard position with Zach Levine. I can see him operating that too, playing a little that when they need him to. But yeah, they have a lot of offensive punch by bringing in Levine and Sabonis is averaging 20 points a contest. You got DeRozan doing his thing. You had Levine there. Malik Monk's averaging 18 points. And you bring Sabonis off the bench. So it's going to be interesting, man, to see how they float this thing. But Sacramento looks a lot different than what we were accustomed to beating. And remember, this was a team we used to handle. We used to handle Sacramento Kings. I don't know if that's going to be the case anymore with them having that. We have problems with Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan. So, that's going to be interesting. I don't see how the Pelicans are going to, not saying that they can't come in there and shock the Sacramento Kings and break the 7-game slide that we're currently on. But going to be interesting. And then we'll see if how fast we can get both Bruce Brown Jr. and Kelly Olynyk into the Pelican system. Maybe it's a couple of games. I don't know. but those guys can definitely help in some form of fashion. They can come in there because I know Bruce Brown Jr. He could play, and of course Olenek gives us something that we haven't had in a while in terms of a big that can shoot the four. I mean, shoot the 3-pointer. So I mean, how fast can we acclimate those guys to help the Pelicans? Those two veterans in there. So um, it's going to be interesting, man. But I probably would have to lean and say Sacramento probably will win the game uh, in the matchup, and that's really not a surprise with what we're seeing with the Pelicans going on. They just at times look so disjointed, man. It's just so unappealing. It's an unappealing brand of basketball that really just sours everything. So once again, for the family members that hadn't heard or just woke up or whatever, that the Pelicans have finally made the trade. They sent Brandon Ingram to the Toronto Raptors for Bruce Brown Jr., Kelly Olynyk, 1 first-round pick and 1 second-round pick. I've been looking up exactly what years these picks are, and it's supposed to be this year, fam. So these are supposed to be current year picks. So first round pick this year and second round pick, according to what some of the articles that I've seen, some of the tweetings that I've seen, some of the insiders are saying. If it changes, I'll let y'all know. But anyway, that's what it is. And Pelicans get 2 veterans, one with an expiring deal. Bruce Brown Jr. has an expiring contract. Kelly Olynyk has an extra year after this year for $13 million. The Pelicans get a first round and a second round for Brandon Ingram. So he's gone. And we used Tice earlier to get clear of that luxury. So the Pelicans finally get done with this whole thing that dragged on since last offseason with Brandon Ingram. So that chapter's finally closed. Trey Murphy obviously is going to be that guy next to Zion Williamson, and hopefully we can kind of do some stuff. And really, like I said, man, at the end of this season, when this season is done, and I don't know if they're going to do it. I'm leaning on the side, Lex, that they probably won't do it. But we need to really clean house with these coaching staff, man, and really go in a different direction and find somebody that has a respectable resume and
not just the coaching, the front office too.
Yeah, I don't
really
know.
the whole look, the ownership, the 3 stooges up top, because this is systematic. It really is. This has been something that's been going on for a long time. And if this organization, like for the future, as far as really coming up and really making some noise, because I mean, how many times can Pelican supporters really talk about going to the playoffs every year?
Hell, man, we can't talk about that at all, man. We
It's
get
not
one
even
here.
feasible.
No, it's
You
a
see what
joke.
I'm saying? Like that has never been the case with this organization. And that's why I keep saying it's systematic.
You're right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you don't feel that way, ask yourself, how come as a supporter are we not talking about the Pelicans going to the playoffs every year? At least a couple of years in a row, talk about the Pelicans going to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, are these the things that the Pelican supporters don't want?
Yeah. Oh, we definitely want it. It's just that's the pressure that the support base has to put on the organization. I think this year they'll get a lot of that. It's a
Well,
very
in
bad
order to
year
do
for
that,
that.
man, you gotta, hey man, forget this family crap. Forget this family culture that you think you trying to build. Look, if you have winning, family gonna be there. I promise you it is. Because winning is the cure to everything. It really is. They have to stop trying to sell Pelican supporters this horrible product. That's the problem. You're trying to sell a horrible product instead of really homing in on building a good product, a winning product. If you do that, guess what? You don't have to sell anything to the supporters because we're going to see it. We're going to see it. It's going to reveal itself. It's going to show itself. But the first thing is is by now, I think everybody knows Gail Benson doesn't give a rat's behind about basketball. She doesn't care about basketball at all. I think it's pure confirmation that she doesn't like the sport. She doesn't care about it. I mean, when does she really even come to the games?
I mean,
I'm not talking about standing in the
she
tunnels.
stands in the tunnel. That's what she gonna do.
No, that is not coming to the game. That's standing in the tunnels.
She don't know what to do, Lex. She
Exactly. And so she doesn't care.
She was gifted the team.
Standing in the tunnels is not coming to the game. She's not even coming to the games. When was the last time she was in the box watching the game?
I mean,
enjoying watching the game.
I mean, this is a tough time for the Pelicans and the Saints because she's under fire.
Even if the team was winning,
I mean,
when did she come?
She don't come.
Exactly. So if the team is winning or losing, she doesn't even come to see these Pelicans play. She stands in the tunnels. And
yeah, she does what a brand ambassador does.
Yeah, like, no, you don't care about basketball. You don't even care. Look, all of us are watching these games, right? And what's going on? Are the Pelicans winning or losing?
She in trouble right now, Lex. A lot of them, they trying. There's words being saying that they're trying to force her out of there, man. They're trying to force her out of there for the connection to that scandal that's happening with the Catholic Church. There's a backlash of people trying to get her out of there because these people are. It's a difficult connection between sports and molestation because that's what's going on here with the Saints helping the Catholic Church cover up for a pedophilic piece of shit. So that's what's going on there. And they literally got caught in emails. And FL said it's not going to launch an investigation because they demonic and filthy too. But in the end of the day, there's a lot of people that's totally disgusted, including myself, with the Saints organization and with that whole group of reprobates running around there pretending to be upstanding moral people, and they connected to some of the most wretched demonic filth that you could possibly imagine. And people like myself, I'm upset about that. I'm pissed off about all that. And there's been no firings of the people that's connected to it. There needs to be an investigation launched into her, and she needs to be jarred loose of that team. That team needs to be taken away from her, and she needs to face charges, her and her people that did that. That's where I'm at with that. So, I mean, the morale in terms of the Saints and the Pelicans couldn't be at the most low as it possibly can because they don't have any leadership. None of these guys are being pressured to do anything correctly. And Brandon Ingram just saved himself a lot of heartache and pain by getting the hell out of here because these people are stupid. They trash. They're garbage. That's the truth.
Yeah, he's definitely got Rakovich is definitely a better coach. Definitely a better coach. Udry, I still remember the stuff that he did with Denver Nuggets with Carmelo Anthony. So I don't know how I feel about him for real. But no,
I don't really like him too much too. But
yeah,
based on what the Pelicans and the Saints
I picked him in Denver.
Like
I'll be paying attention, man. I just I don't like to be holding grudges, but I'm like, yeah, I know what you did to some people, and it wasn't right. It wasn't right. So it's the same thing on how we look at Griff, because he ain't doing a whole lot of stuff right.
Of course not. Of course he isn't.
He's doing a lot of things wrong.
But we forced his behavior change. Let's not because I pay attention to the behavior patterns of these people. That guy they used to talk a lot and say a lot of nothing. He disappeared. And that's not because he wanted to. He disappeared because he was forced to disappear because of the constant scrutiny about the support base that's constantly challenging him to do better. He literally disappeared for weeks, for months. You haven't heard from him in an official capacity about the team. Him or his mime-ass general manager who was too scared to do his own press conferences because he's not a real general manager. He's a puppet for Griffin. At least Trajan Langdon did his own press conference without David Griffin being there. What's this guy's excuse? He don't know how to do a press conference. He don't know how to open up his mouth and explain stuff. So I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, we've changed the behavior patterns of these people. They used to like to talk a lot. They ran off and they don't want to say anything anymore. And I'm pretty sure they'll do a press conference because of the trade of Brandon Ingram. He'll probably, during that same press conference, tell people that the team is being ravaged by injuries and, such and such. So he'll probably throw a little something. So at some point in time, you'll probably hear him. He'll peek out from behind the bushes or climb from up under the rock he's been hiding out for the last several months. And he'll say something, or if not, release a statement.
Wow.
So we'll see.
Are you ready for this one?
Okay.
The Lakers are dealing Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, DC's favorite guy,
That's his ultimate favorite.
an unprotected first-round pick, and pick swap to the Hornets for Mark Williams.
Well, when you want to win, Lex, what can I tell you? And like I said, I'm gonna say this again about
They really love Austin Reeves.
yeah.
But Dalton Connect,
Yeah, I mean, you got
man,
Luka there. You got Luka. His style is similar to a Luka Doncic type player. So I mean, I guess they felt like they needed rim protector, and that was a
golly.
big one. That was huge.
Well, because I guess because Austin Reeves, he's been playing as a point guard.
hmm
But yeah, they dang, why did I mean, Mark Williams is nice. He just recently got back. But
that dude ain't no bum ass center. That's a
he's
good
not.
center.
He's a nice center. He's a nice center because they need some size. They needed size after letting AD go.
Well, I
But
mean,
that was a big deal. But I know Dalton Connect, man, he's a sniper. Snipers are very are very important these days.
yeah, they kind of figure we need a big more than we need that, and they'll probably try to see if they can move around and get some kind of other way. But
Because you got to think his upside, Connect's upside,
I like Dalton Connect. I like.
Yeah, I mean, he puts that ball up in the hole. He really does.
Yeah, well, the Hornets got a good one, man, with Dalton. If that's indeed the case, that's Shams dropping that, or was that what's his name, the brother? Where'd you get that report from, Lex?
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. NBA, yeah, my NBA app.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Shams. I don't think it came. Yeah, but I had my NBA app open. But now it's coming through NBA on TNT and ESPN.
Yeah, 7 minutes ago he's reporting it too. Lakers are trading for a 7'2" center who fits the profile of athleticism.
The thing with Cam was their defensive wing though. So they still I mean, Mark Williams, he is a defensive guy, but as far as with their wings, who do you have who's defending, who's committed to defending? Because LeBron at 40, and I mean, we already know Luka's defense. You know what I'm saying? Austin Reeves, golly, he gets hunted. He gets hunted on defense.
Mm-hmm.
And don't let nobody post him up because he ain't stopping nobody. Defensively, they're still not balanced. They have scoring, but even with scoring, I don't even think they can really outscore other teams. I don't know. I'm just just looking at, because it's good basketball talk stuff. So.
Right. They're going to move around a little bit. Then I don't know if they're quite done doing what they need to do, but here it is right here. Shams did it 10 minutes ago. Lex beat him to the punch. Lakers are trading Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish.
Good job, Dan.
That's right. That's right. 2031 unprotected first round pick and 2030 pick swaps for Charlotte center Mark Williams. There you go, right there.
I'm surprised they didn't trade Bronny.
LeBron wasn't
I
having
mean,
that.
you know, you
That
know what I'm saying? I mean,
LeBron
like,
wasn't
dog,
having that.
y'all traded Dalton Connect before Bronny.
That's right. That's right. And LeBron said, "You better
Because as
not
far
touch
as performance and production,
They better not tell me
shoot.
nothing about no damn LeBron James not having the power to do such and such, such and such. Man, get out of here. I guarantee you, he stopped his son from being traded. I don't know if anybody would even trade for Bronny. What would they want Bronny for? What the hell has he done?
Hey,
To
you know, marketing. He's selling a lot of
Oh Lord, they don't need that.
merchandise.
They don't need that. They got enough.
You
They
know what
got
I'm saying?
enough flash up there. They don't need all that crap with LeBron going on. Yeah, he plays video games and all that, but he's not really tearing it up on the basketball court, to be honest with you. But here's a few of the trades, family, to kind of recap what's been going on, because it's a fast and furious night of things that happen. And as the trade deadline is running in, we just talked about the one that
Oh
just
yeah,
happened
with
with the Lakers and
Miami.
Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, and picks going to the Charlotte Hornets for Mark Williams, the center. This is the rest of some of the things that happened. Golden State Warriors got Jimmy Butler. Miami gave up, Miami gets PJ Tucker, Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first round pick. It was a multi-team deal, very complicated. Detroit was involved. They got Lindy Waters III and Josh Richardson. Utah got Dennis Schroeder. Then, of course,
You
this
know
was
what's crazy? Dennis Schroeder been traded 3 times in one season. That's got to be a record. Y'all
I
know
don't
that,
know.
right? Dennis Schroeder. He
He
was
was
with
balling
he
though.
was with the Brooklyn
Yeah.
Nets. Okay, Brooklyn traded him to the Warriors. That was just like a month ago.
And they packed and shipped him out
And then
to
they
Utah.
traded him to Miami, and
Oh, he went to
Miami
Miami.
basically rerouted him to the Utah Jazz.
So that's
It's like,
4 teams within what, 2-3 months?
yeah, that's crazy. That's got to be a record.
Probably.
And this is the same guy who fumbled the bag.
He did. He bet
You
on
know what I'm
himself and
saying?
bet
When,
wrong.
when he was with the Lakers,
There was
it's
no
like,
paying.
dude, you know. And then that statement, I don't know if you all heard his statement. It went viral, talking about how getting traded was the modern day slavery. I'm like, dude, there's other things that you could have talked about with modern day slavery. Not not like with the trade though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We could have went into some shoot between me and you, Big Q. We could have talked about some other areas of modern day slavery, okay? But yeah, he came out with that, and in less than 24 hours, he was on the trading block. It's like, dude, like you ain't that type of cat that can just come out and talk about stuff like that. You might want to chill, be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Oh, goodness gracious, because you went to a worse situation, man. Look, I know the Brooklyn Nets, they were losing, but golly, at least you were in a big market. You went from the Brooklyn Nets to the Warriors to the Heat to a team that's not winning, and it's Utah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's trying to find a home, man.
Yeah.
Trying to find a home, man. He probably and
Yeah.
he won't get traded again because the trade deadline is tomorrow, and he might. I mean, he won't, but that'll be 4 times, and he'll just have to pick up in Utah where
Yeah.
he is. So I mean, at least he has a job, right? If he
Yeah.
don't like it,
Yeah,
tell him
he
take his
does.
ass back to Germany or
Yeah,
wherever.
because I would love to have shoot any NBA contract. You know what I'm
And my
saying?
dog
Shoot.
Sprewell, they offered
Because
Sprewell
the
line back
lowest,
in the day.
hey
They offered
y'all, hey
Sprewell a
Mr.
bunch of
Bird,
money, and Sprewell told them
Mr.
people he
Bird,
can't feed his
look,
family with this money.
the lowest NBA contract is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. I'm definitely
I
feeling that. That's
guarantee you
true.
can't beat that shit in Germany. I guarantee you that, because I think that's what a man he kind of came over from there. But anyway,
Yeah.
this is the rest of it right here.
Mhm.
Pelicans trade BI to the Raptors. We just talked about that earlier. Raptors get Brandon Ingram. He's now that. The Pelicans get Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, 2025. There it is right there, family. 25 first-round pick for the family members and 25 second-round picks. So we get the Raptors first-round and second-round picks for this season. So the Pelicans have multiple first-rounders this year, including their top selection, which will be a lottery pick. And then, of course, you have the Bucks Wizards Knicks trade that sent Middleton and Kuzma in a 3-team deal. The Bucks got Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., Jericho Sims was the backup center for
Yeah.
the Knicks. Second-round draft pick compensation. Washington gets Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, and a 2028 first-round pick swap. The Knicks gets D-line Wright and cash considerations. Then there was the Wizards trading Valanciunas to the Kings for Kosoko. That's right. So Sacramento gets Big V. Washington gets City Kosoko and 2 first-round picks, 28 and 29. Then, of course, this trade, OKC gets Daniel Tice and a 31 second-round pick. And the Pelicans get money. They get cash from the OKC Thunder.
Look, only to make ill-wise decisions with that, because we know what Griff's been doing financially. Poor decisions. So that money is gone. Like, dog, why didn't you get one of their young players or something? Golly, that's what you should have got from OKC, because they got some quality pieces over there. But
Well,
it
he
doesn't
don't want
mean
to spoil his
anything if
chances
you have
in
this type of
improving his
coaching.
lottery. Well, he don't want to improve. That's the point, Lex. I don't think what his intention was. He didn't want to get, players that can help spoil what got with the losing that they now currently undergoing. So of course you're going to use the Zion Williamson minute restriction. Shouldn't even be the case because you're a stinking losing team. So we'll just use that, and we'll start seeing people in and out of the lineup, and we'll continue to play young people. That should ensure you a lottery selection at some point. So I mean, it's just what it is, right? And so anyway, Springer and a pick for Houston from Boston. The Celtics get a 2031 second-round pick, top 55 protected. Rockets get guard Jaden Springer and a 2030 second-rounder. The Pistons got involved with a move as well. Detroit gets KJ Martin, a 2027 second-round pick via Milwaukee, a 2031 second-round pick via Dallas. Philly gets cash. And another move, this happened the other day, was Dallas getting Caleb Martin and the Sixers getting Quentin Grimes and a 2025 second-round pick their own. And we all know about some of these other picks, smaller picks right here in terms of the Hornets giving up that 29 second-round pick for OKC's 2030 conditional second-round pick via Denver. This was a one that happened the other day as well, as De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin goes to the Spurs. Sacramento got Zach LaVine, City Kosoko, who then we seen just got moved in another deal. And this is what they got, all these draft assets that the Kings were able to accrue besides getting LaVine and all these other guys. 2025 first-round pick, a top 14 protected via Charlotte, a 27 first-round pick via San Antonio, a 2031 first-round pick via Minnesota, 25 second-round pick, a 28 second-round pick, and another 28 second-round pick. So the Kings still relevant in the playoff chase right now. They're a game above 500. They've loaded up with some scoring with Zach LaVine as long as he stays healthy. They kind of have an imbalance going on in terms of who the point guard is, but something tell me they'll figure it out. And remember, this happened from a team that felt like they weren't winning, and they traded, their franchise player, got him out of there. And kudos to the San Antonio Spurs for getting De'Aaron Fox and not surrendering anybody of real high regard. Now, no disrespect to Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huter. Those guys end up going to Chicago. They get a 25 first-round pick and from San Antonio. So Zach Collins and Trey Jones is who you give up so that you can end up getting De'Aaron Fox to put him with Wemby. And Wemby told him, listen, man, I want to win right now. And what did the Spurs do? They turned around and went and got the guy, a bona fide superstar, to help him. Plus, they didn't give up Vassell. They didn't give up Castle. They didn't give up any of these players. So they still have Chris Paul over there, teaching these guys. So at the end of the day, this is just excellent. Too. Awesome.
De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes, they were in Sacramento together.
Yeah.
So you got, two guys that, already have chemistry. And, De'Aaron Fox, he's clutch. And you still have your young pieces because they didn't want to give up. Golly, the dude from Connecticut, Stephon Castle. Yeah, Stephon Castle. They didn't give him up
They didn't
either.
give up anybody. I mean,
Yeah,
no
they
disrespect
kept
to
all their young
who
pieces.
the hell is Zach?
Well, with the
What does
exceptions
Zach
of
Collins matter?
Trey Jones.
Trey Jones. I mean, I got. I'm winning right now, so that's small potatoes in my book. No disrespect to Collins or Jones, but I didn't give up none of my bigger players. None of my guys, and those guys are now equipped
because
bench guys.
Still got Vassell and
Still got, what's your guy named?
Stephon
Johnson?
Castle.
What's his name?
Johnson.
Man, these people are
Dude from Kentucky.
they have completely
Socan.
they have
Is it
completely
Sohan or Socan?
so I think it's Sohan.
I like to get people's names right. That's like pet peeve of mine.
I think at the end of the day, this is just more of the same. Was this team was supposed to be positioned underneath the Pelicans. The Spurs have leapfrogged the Pelicans, the Dallas Mavericks. This is the trade on the screen with the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, this one has been beat to death by Anthony Davis and Max Christie ended up with Dallas. They get a 2029 first-round pick via the Lakers. The Lakers get Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris. Utah gets Jalen Hood-Schifino and 2 second-round draft picks in this upcoming draft. So that's some of the bigger and most dynamic trades that have happened during this trade deadline. So, it's been a phenomenal trade deadline with a lot of big names, expensive contracts that were moved here and complicated deals where teams were extremely motivated to move some of these players. There was rumored Kevin Durant was involved and they were trying to move Kevin Durant, trade him out of there. There was all kind of stuff going on. So this trade cycle, so very interesting. But like, once again, as far as the Pelicans concerned, this is the one here. He's no longer a Pelican. He's now a Toronto Raptor. And they got him in his Raptor gear right there, as you can see, wearing number 14 in the Raptors uni that they put on him. And this is going to be interesting for the Raptors, is they're going to keep it moving. As far as the Pelicans concerned, man, listen, man, we are right where we at, Lex.
I like it. I like your jokes, man. Because I knew exactly. I picked that up quick. Oh, goodness, that was good. That was really good. Let's see. Someone asked a question. Demande question. Somebody was asking about Kyra Lewis. Yeah, Nola baby. Yeah, so Kyra Lewis, he was traded to the Raptors, then traded to Utah. He's probably in the G League. If it's not in the G League, he's probably not in the league. Because that's the last I heard of him, is when he was in Utah.
He's currently in the G League playing for the Capital City Go-Go. That's where he's playing at. He's playing.
Who's that with?
The Capital City Go-Go.
Whose team is that?
I think that's connected to the Washington team, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, the Go-Go.
Oh, there you go. Well, I didn't know. That's what I was asking. I was like, who's their affiliate?
Yeah, that's. Let me see if I could pull up his.
Just wanted to answer your question there.
I didn't realize he was still. I thought he was out of the league. He might have been.
Yeah, that's why I said either G League or he's out, because that's the only two places he can be. I knew he wasn't overseas.
Yeah, he is right there, averaging 10 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Yep, that's Griff's boy.
Capital City Go-Go.
Yeah.
The crazy part about
Jamal, come on, man. He said Go-Go sound like a stripper team.
The crazy part about it is, though, Lex, is that he had an opportunity. The Pelicans actually gave Kyra Lewis Jr. an opportunity, but he got
outperformed by Jordan Hawkins.
and he would not he was the fastest player on the team. I mean, the guy would literally go from coast to coast and nobody could stop him. I mean, he was a good free throw shooter. His 3-point shot was coming along. The issue with Kyra Lewis that he was light in the ass. He was not very heavy. Wasn't very strong, but his game was speed, and his temperament was too. I can't even see passive aggressive because it wasn't passive aggressive. He was just too sensitive. His temperament was too
I don't really
soft.
think he was ready. I think he should have stayed in school for a little bit longer to develop. You know, one thing I will say, I'm definitely with the one and done, but obviously with the NIL deals, that makes a huge difference. That makes a huge difference that now, you know, student athletes can make money. They can be professionals while they're in college. And I really like that. But one thing about staying in school sometimes, and this is nothing like, it really depends on you, but it helps with maturity. It
Mhm.
helps with leadership. You know, as you get older and you're put more into a leadership position, and you gain experience in that leadership position, it actually helps these young men. So when they're coming to the pros, they're making a lot of money. Mentally, they're more prepared. And that's one thing I will say that's good, because Herb Jones talks about it. You know, Herb Jones, and we all look at Herb Jones as, you know, he's pretty solid, right? You know, very, very mature. He's a leader. He's very disciplined and things like that. So, you know, you just look at Kyra, and plus he was already young. No, I think he was still 17 when he got drafted, wasn't he?
I think he was like 18 or something. Wasn't he 18 when he got
I
drafted?
thought he was 17. Like, he was on the young, like he was like really young. Like, he was
Let me
like
see.
he
Well, he's
I don't
23
even
right now,
think
so he was
he hit
drafted in
18 yet.
what year was he drafted?
Because, you know, he came in before Herb, and him and Herb were
Right.
went to the same school. He literally left after his freshman year, and Herb, you know, was there at the same school at Alabama. They both went to Alabama, right?
That's right.
Okay, yeah. So, and he
He
was
was
drafted
19,
before,
Lex.
because Herb and Trey and Jose, they were in the draft after Kyra Lewis.
Yeah, he was 19 according to the information I got when they drafted him.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, this is true. I mean, and I remember we covered it when we was doing the streams, and I remember basically hearing from Stan Van Gundy, because he was drafted that one year for Stan, and Stan said they asked him about his point guard. Well, and Stan, as candid as he usually said, I had nothing to do with it. You know, I just told him, you know, and I'm like, what? Well, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work out very well. You know, this is your damn team, and you had nothing to do with the drafting of the player that's supposed to be on your team. That right there was like, what? You know, that was crazy to me that Stan Van Gundy was on that type of time. But that's what kind of foolishness we've been dealing with.
But I mean, the thing is, I mean, yeah, I still put that on Griff, because guess what? You want to know the truth of the matter?
Mm.
Stan is no longer here. You know what I'm saying? But guess who is, Big Q?
Who?
Yeah, you know, look, Griff
Who's
is
still
still
here,
here.
Lex?
Huh?
Who's still here?
Shoot, Griffin Green. Along with their secret contracts.
Oh my
The
goodness.
Grifter.
The Grifter.
Oh, goodness.
That's what he's
crazy.
doing. He's screwing it up, falling up. It's crazy, man.
Man, I can't believe the Lakers let go of Dalton Connect, man. That's deep. I'm actually shocked about that.
I
I'm
know.
actually shocked. They really should have sent Bronny instead of Dalton Connect. No. I'm sorry. That's just Dalton Connect, man. And he's young. I guess they had to send something
Well,
of value.
I mean, that's an interesting pairing if you think about it, because people looking at the Lakers because it's the Lakers. But see, that's
Mm.
the thing. People hate the Lakers. A lot of people don't like the Lakers, but you have to respect the Lakers because
Yeah,
they're always
they're
trying to do
aggressive. They
something
are
to win.
aggressive.
They
Man, they
uber
are aggressive.
aggressive. Right. And that's the thing that I would want, at
Because
least take that aggression from
yeah,
them.
because they're not trying to sell anything. They're dialed into winning. Like, no, man, we want to win. We want to win. We want to win. And that mentality definitely needs to be with the Pelicans. It's sad that it's not. It really is, because I just can't get dialed into losing. I understand the business aspect, tanking to get top picks. But like I said, what good is it to get top picks and you have no direction, you have no vision, you have no coaching, you have no leadership, you have no forward thinking? If you don't have those things, you leading young men astray. You are leading young men astray, and you're wasting careers. So you can get all the picks you want, but again, if this is the foundation, y'all, this is a problem. It's a problem, and I'm gonna keep saying that, because the thing is, you're beating around the bush. You're beating around the bush. Anytime you're beating around the bush, you're not addressing the problem. You're just going around it. You're walking around it. You can't do that. Sometimes you have to face things head on. You have to face a problem head on. And that's something that the Pelicans are not doing. They're not facing the problem head on. They're trying to evade and move around and maneuver, like a airbender.
Yeah.
They need to be more like an earthbender and take something head on. That's the difference between an airbender and an earthbender. Okay.
Well, Lex, I don't want to get vulgar, but the only thing the Pelicans seem to do is they bending all right. They bending stuff all right, and it's made a compost, and it comes out the back of a cow. So I don't know if anything going on with that.
Look, they need to get
sure
into going to the avatar state.
Well, that's David Griffin. That's why his breath smell like that. He's literally spinning. He could put a shit museum going on with that guy over there. But listen, let me share this with y'all, man. This is since the Kyra Lewis thing y'all was talking about. Let me share something with y'all, man. It's a blast from the past. Listen to this.
Coach, this is Fletcher with NBC New Orleans. You said that you obviously weren't involved because of the lack of seeing college games. David Griffin just left and said that he expects to be very active in trades and free agency. How excited are you about that, and how active do you think you will be in that process over the next 48 to 72 hours?
Well, I think already, when it comes to NBA players, Griffin, Trajan ask my opinion on all of those guys. NBA players, what do you think of this guy? How does this guy fit? Compare these two guys. So with those guys, I'll have more input and more say. But listen, one of the reasons I was so attracted to this job is that I think Griff is very good at what he does. I think Trajan's very good at what they do.
That is completely
heard enough. I don't even need to hear about Kyra. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, it's going to be their decision on
Come on, Big
trades and
Q.
free agencies.
Thank you.
And
You
I
let us
have
know.
great trust in that, and what it allows me to do especially.
The great part about this interview, he literally goes on and starts talking about his experiences as the vice president of the Detroit Pistons and how he has a bit of a post, what you call it, type mindset about how badly he was drafting and screwed up. So, yeah, this is who David Griffin picked. So, I mean, it's very interesting that we get these gentlemen and these guys don't know they're air bending, you know, stuff out of back of pigs and cows and chickens.
This
So this is what we
organization
got going
needs
on.
to go Avatar state. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying?
I
And that
don't
wouldn't
think
include Griff.
yeah, I don't think you want to watch that episode, Lex. That'll be a very disgusting episode of it. All right. So anyway, man, listen, man, the big news of the night, obviously y'all know the Pelicans lost. Okay. We already know that. But the breaking news of the night is that Brandon Ingram, even though we've been waiting for this a while, man.
It don't even. There's no really no reaction for real.
I mean, it's going to come here. It's a little late, but tomorrow morning you're going to see a lot of people kind of going over it. But Brandon Ingram is no longer a New Orleans Pelican. He's now a Toronto Raptor. Bi's been here for the last several years. He's did everything he possibly could do in terms of helping the Pelicans win. He's no longer here. And his era in the Zion and Bi era is officially over. It ends tonight as the Pelicans now move into the next layer of it. This is something we've been anticipating for a long time. Guess what? It finally manifested. Pelicans got Bruce Brown Jr. back, expiring contract. Kelly Olynyk has another year left on his contract at $13 million in 2025 first round pick and a 2025 second round pick. So the Pelicans have multiple first round picks this year. And obviously, they're going to start playing a lot of the younger talent because they're trying to completely fold into the tanking philosophy. At some point, we'll probably see a release from the front office of the Pelicans and thanking Brandon Ingram via Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it. And perhaps, I don't know if we'll have a press conference from the general manager, whoever he is, will more than likely figure it out going forward and whether or
I
not
hate
they'll
that
give us any stuff.
phrase.
So
I can't even get with that phrase no
that
more.
phrase been around for years, but since I've heard
I
Willie
know,
Green
but
say,
yeah, the way that this organization be using it is just
well,
it's
I just want to say shout out to Brandon Ingram, man. May you have a healthy rest of your career with the Toronto Raptors or wherever you decide to go, my brother, in the summertime. And then, just shout out to BI, man, for being here. And he's no longer a Pell. So it's a little sadness on that. We knew eventually this was going to happen, but he's now gone. And now Trey Murphy is here along with Zion Williamson and whoever else they want to pair with them. We'll see exactly how this all works out moving forward. So I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with airbending shit and a lot of losses. So somewhere along the line, y'all pick in between there that we ain't gonna fall too far from in between there. So there you go. All right, Lex, parting thoughts before we end up closing stream.
Oh yeah, Knox Villain said every piece we got from AD trade is now gone. Well, think of it this way: AD's gone from the Lakers, so it makes it null and void, because he's not with the Lakers anymore, and we don't have none of the Lakers stuff, so it's all good. But really, that's not really the gist of the Pelicans' problems. I mean, we just went over what the problem was. So coaching, three stooges at the top, ownership. That's who we need to be looking to move, because once you remove them and get some better people up in here that can run the organization and be organized. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, I agree with that too, Dan. I agree with that too. And it still might come. Especially depending on the draft.
What more do you want from me?
Hey, I'm just saying it might happen because right now, Dan, it doesn't really mean that the Pelicans, just because Brandon's moved, it doesn't mean that the Pelicans are dialed into building around Zion. And we talked about that earlier. So yeah, that still can't very, very well happen.
I don't want to. Well, this is the thing. I mean, if you trade, I mean, and listen, you got Luka, you got superstars that got traded, and guys that were actually there. And like I was saying, and I would say this before we close out the stream, never seen nothing like this in a long ever. In watching all of this, NBA was. And I said this to start the stream. The NBA was suffering with people with a viewership of its league. It was very bad. And for this massive shakeup, as these teams committed to moving these superstar players and a lot of this talent around and basically reshaping teams at the trade deadline, like what we've seen, very interesting dynamic to see that happening with the low viewership and then the massive shakeup of stars and people moving around throughout the league to try to stoke viewership. Maybe we'll see how it all works moving forward. A lot of interesting dynamics are happening there, and the Pelicans finally had a couple of trades to get under the luxury tax for one, and have ultimately moved Brandon Ingram, which is something we were anticipating them doing. So we finally reached that. So that is the end of that chapter. It was a long book to read, but we finally got there. So anyway, we're going to see more of the Pelicans going into the season, man. And now that this is done, man, I'm not happy about where the team is, obviously, with 12 wins at the start of February. But we shall be here to be consistent, as we are actually being more consistent than our rotten ass basketball team is, pretty much. You know, they can't seem to be very consistent at anything. But PPR will be here through the good, the bad, and the ugly. How about that?
Yeah,
we would settle for nothing less.
It's been a whole lot of bad and ugly. It's
Yeah.
overdue. We too much of that. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely ready for the good and the only good part.
Straight up. We had enough. All right. So anyway, with that being said, fam, do us a service. Y'all hit that damn like button, please. Hit the like button. Also, if you're catching the stream after if the stream is over with and you're watching it on the replay, hit the comment section up and let us know how you feel about the draft. I mean, not just the draft, but the trade of Brandon Ingram to Toronto. Do you like the trade? Do you feel like the Pelicans got good value for BI? What are your thoughts on that? And also, do you think the Pelicans will ultimately end up getting I know we hit the lottery. Do you think they'll get that top pick? You know, do you think Willie Green will be here next year? Do you think that? Let us know in the comment section your thoughts, man. It'll be good to hear from you guys. So with that being said, we're going to get out on that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. By all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. PPR representing the Flock and Nation stand up. With that being said, we're going to holler at you on the next one. Much love and go Pels. Peace.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network. For all things Pelicans.
Perfect. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell him that. Birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. Ain't gon' lie, I feel flyer than I ever been. We stay ballin', this New Orleans, I'm a Pelican. It's going down in the nest, wild, wild west. Come in town and you best show us some respect. 3-point threat, I better make it rain. If it's something, don't jump stupid like your ankle sprain. Always said, never hate the player, hate the game. Jumping where the dame late, punch a train. Post game, Big Q, talking about business. Bird gang, YouTube, they ain't flocking with us. Lock up the division mission, get into the finals. Finish competition, then it's going win the title. I know this flyer than you can get. Such a threat that the refs just might call a tag. You could double, you could press, but you can't check. Right, left, slide by you like a Eurostep. Fly Pelican, fly Pelican, fly Pelican. And I tell them that birds of a feather flock together. Fly down, I'm a Pelican forever. Pelican forever. And never, and never, and never, and never, and never, and never say birds of a feather flock together. Yeah, fly die, I'm a Pelican forever. TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. Remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. Check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.